Okay.
So today we're going to make a really fantastic dinner. It's Friday night. It's about 10 after 7. I've had a very busy week and I'm tired, so I want to have a good dinner that's going to be fairly fast and satisfying and delicious too. So we're going to make chicken Gizmondo. As you saw in the still shot, here are all the ingredients, and I've taken out a few tools. Now, when you start this dinner, the main thing you're going to want to do is start with your longest cooking thing first. So I am going to just heat up my back pan. I think I'll put it up to really high and I'll lower it later. So here's my pan, and I am going to heat that up with a little bit of olive oil here, Mr. Cameraman. And as you can see, Oscar is here to supervise. Careful, Oscar, because that is going to become hot oil very quickly. I know you're dying to cook. He loves when we cook dinner. Thank you very much for keeping an eye on that and for pushing the knives toward me. Okay, and starting the can opener apparently. So I just want you to look at these potatoes. They're red skin potatoes, see? And they look like fingerling potatoes. I left one here that's uncut, and because I want them to cook fairly quickly, I'm just slicing them. And sometimes when you don't want them rolling around in your pan, you can just cut off the edge here to just give it a smoother edge, right? I know, it looks wasteful, but you know, we want this to cook properly, and you don't want your potatoes rolling around in your pan. It makes me nuts. So I'm just cutting off the slight edges here, and my oil is probably at the ready. And just take a couple of these guys here, like so. What do you think, Oscar? Is that good? Yeah, apparently yes. Okay, now we're gonna just slip these in the pan, because my potatoes, believe it or not, are gonna be the longest cooking things. So, see how after I trimmed this bottom, how nicely it rests? And as opposed to, I'm not trimming this just so you can see. See what I mean? It's wobbling around, but I'm going to take it out, do a nice little edge. Another one with a nice little edge. There we go. And we are frying these potatoes, which will be a lovely accompaniment for this dish. Our non-wobbly potatoes. Excellent. Okay. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and I am now going to lower this heat to about a medium. There we go. And now we are going to prepare our chicken. So I'm taking it right out of how I showed you in the picture, opening it up. Now these are 0.4 kilograms size boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and these are very nice free-range chicken breasts. And now look what I'm going to do. See how there's this thinner tip here and there's the fatter part? So we're just going to start sort of around here. This is a boning knife I'm using. That's the shape of the boning knife, and I love to work with it because of its slender tip. And you see, you just cut through, and almost like you're butterflying the chicken breast. There we have it. See how that opens up like a little book? Check on my potatoes here. Yeah. Okay. They're doing nicely. I've turned them down, let them crisp up. And we're going to work on this other chicken breast. There you go. See how I'm slicing through, opening it up almost like a book. Almost looks like it's heart-shaped, right to the tip. And there we go. Opens up very, very nicely. Now, I am just going to use my bumpy end of my mallet just to flatten it out a touch. Just a touch. Let's move it over here. Off of my very expensive cooktop. The cameraman essentially stepped on my foot around that. So just a little bit. Look at this one. It's actually heart-shaped. Wouldn't that be great for Valentine's Day? Okay. There we go. Perfect. Now, in this flat, shallow dish, I am going to put my half cup of breadcrumbs, my quarter cup of Parmesan cheese, and you see here there's some kind of lumpy bits of Parmesan cheese. That's it. And I have 3 tablespoons of sesame seeds in here. And I have my quarter teaspoon. Oscar, stop it. Sorry, we have to do a little bit of cat
wrangling.
Cat wrangling here. Okay, I'm mixing that all up. I put that was a quarter teaspoon of that smoked jalapeno salt. With my hands a little wipe here. I'm taking the regular salt and giving it a couple of grindings. I'm taking some pepper, giving that a couple of grindings. Perfect. Now, here in this pot, we are going to heat this up to around a medium-high. Okay? And I am going to put in, once again, in that pot, some olive oil. I know, it's dinner time and everyone's hungry in this house, including Oscar, apparently. So you see I'm just putting a little bit of olive oil down there, a couple of tablespoons. And you can put in some butter or margarine. Butter tastes better. I don't have butter, so I am going to use margarine. I know, shame on me. I think it's always better to use butter, but this is our emergency margarine stash. And I have about a couple of tablespoons there. I'm melting this. So while that melts, and I am going to check on my potatoes right here, see what's going on with them. Okay, yeah, they're fine. They can keep going on that side. They're browning nicely. Now, when you bread stuff, this is my little trick that I like to do, is I like to get some of the mix that I have here and go like this. Just put half of it in there. Okay, and I am going to take these chicken breasts, and the cameraman Dave will stay on the creme mix there, because you can't see our kitchen sink, which is full with all kinds of garbage and things. You'll get a view of the kitchen sink and everything else on another day. So here I have the chicken breasts, and I'm putting them in. And now, the reason I like to separate the crumb is that I don't want to get those crummy fingers, you know, when you have them looking like they're encrusted. And I separate it so I can do this. So I can make sure that most of it gets coated. I like to be generous on the coating side. So you might have some left over. You might use larger chicken breasts. But this way, I get them really coated.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
So much for the margarine.
So much for the margarine. It looks like it may have been sacrificed. Compromised. It's been breached. The margarine has been breached. Breach, breach, breach. Okay, so I am coating these. I don't like to go through that whole egg wash business, and, you know, it's just a little too much for me. So I'm just putting them in here. Now you can use more chicken breasts with this crumb mixture. As I said, I like to err on the side of generosity with it. And here I go. So I am going to put that over here. And put my other one in there as well. Okay, so they're frying up quite nicely. And I am just going to add a little more of my crumb mixture on top while they're frying, just to sort of give it that extra nice crunchy layer on top with the sesame seeds and the Parmesan and the breadcrumbs.
Aren't you getting the crumb fingers now?
I am not getting crumb fingers.
No?
See, look. Crumb fingers is like when it's so wet after you've done the egg dip, after you've done all those other kinds of dips, and then you end up with crumb fingers after you stick your fingers in there. Okay. So, it is frying up very, very nicely. I am just going to clean up here because cameraman Dave will yell at me if I don't clean up after myself. He doesn't mind being a cameraman. He's pretty good with that, about that. Kitchen cleaner, sous chef, not so much. Okay, so just clean around the area. Move this out of the way. Now, let's check our potatoes while that is. Okay, that looks really good. Look at that. So I've had that on medium, and they will survive quite nicely while we complete the rest of the dish. It takes a little bit of work to kind of just do these by hand individually.
Use the tongs.
No, I'm actually okay. I don't need the tongs. Tongs are for amateurs. Cameraman Dave. Okay, here we go. There we go. Turn that over. I've almost got them all turned over. Very, very nice. Just got two little guys to turn over here. I'm done. And now I'm going to even lower that because I'm trying to do my timing. Okay. So in the meantime, what we have here is, besides an annoying cat, we have some spinach. I'm not going to obviously use all of this. This is a pre-washed spinach, so I don't have to do anything with it except pop it in. Now let's check our chicken breasts here. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Now we're going to flip them over. They look pretty good. Okay.
How long do you need to wait so it cooks through?
Well, I think we're probably going to do it for about a couple of minutes or so, and this is what I am going to do right now, is I am going to put in just handfuls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I am going to put a little more olive oil on top. There we go. That's probably maybe about a couple of tablespoons. Move that out of the way. And we're going to do a couple of grindings of salt on here, some pepper, and we're going to add nutmeg because nutmeg and spinach really, really goes well. And so this was just a little bit of nutmeg, just about an eighth of a teaspoon, not much. And I'm just going to cover this, and we're going to leave this for about 3 minutes and come back to it, and then we'll see the results in about 3 minutes. So hang in there. We got our potatoes on low. I'm going to just reduce those because I know they're cooking quite nicely. I'm putting them on the lowest just to kind of keep them warm, and yeah, checking on them. Looking good. Looking very good. Okay, we'll be back in about 3 minutes. Okay, so here I have it ready after about 3 minutes. And I'm just going to turn off my cooktop if I can, but I'm going to plate. So here you see I'm putting on a little bit of spinach. That's my cooktop.
It's been sitting on the wrong part.
Okay, we got the steamed spinach. And so when we put the spinach in, just put it on low so that it can cook thoroughly and completely. And then we have the chicken Gizmondo. You just take a shot of this, cameraman Dave. There we go. Right over here, right? So, and we're just going to add some of these lovely potatoes as a side for the dish. And here, and probably, I don't know, how long do you think it took, Dave? 10 minutes?
Yeah, about that.
How much was the first part of the video?
I don't know, about 7 minutes.
About 7 minutes, okay, and then we're plating here. So from start to finish, you have this lovely meal that you can enjoy. And for a quick Friday night dinner, chicken Gizmondo with fingerling red skin potatoes, steamed spinach with nutmeg.